Well, that is what you call a football match. Man City 6, Leicester City 3. I mean, Boxing Day football matches tend to be just brilliant, don't they? I that was great to watch. 4-0 at half time, you think, game over. But I'll watch the second half anyway because City are playing well. And, even when City, you think, have won the game for 100%, they're still a decent side to watch because of the way they do score goals. It's not like, say, if Chelsea go 5-0 up at half time against, I don't know, Norwich, which I think they did this season. I'm not sure if they did it by half time, but they did win 7-0. Like their style of football is not quite as entertaining as Man City's. But Man City did take the lead early on. It was poor defending from Leicester in the first half. The ball over the top by Fernandinho was far too easy for De Bruyne to take down. And he did well, to be fair. He managed to wrap his left foot around it and put it in bottom corner. And then Yuri Tielemans on the corner just gave away a stupid penalty, bringing down, I think it might have been Laporte. He just speared him sort of round the waist a bit. It was just stupid. The referee sort of postponed his decision, sort of bottled it, thinking, I've got VAR, they can bring this back if they need to. And I think a lot of referees are doing that now. It's become a lot easier job, and yet they're still making quite a lot of mistakes. Thankfully, there wasn't too many made today. But yeah, the penalty was given eventually. Riyad Mahrez took it. Good penalty. Not quite in the corner, but he got enough power on it to get it past Kasper Schmeichel. And then it became 3-0. Nice bit of play down the right-hand side with Mahrez, De Bruyne laying it off to Cancelo squaring it, Schmeichel getting a palm to it, but it fell to Gundogan, who had a simple finish, making it 3-0. Then another penalty just before the 25-minute mark. What was this penalty? Sterling had the ball in the box. He took it past Yuri Tielemans again. 2 penalties conceded by him today. Stupid tackle, stuck a leg out, and it was almost like he was asking Sterling to say, go on, fall over my leg. And Sterling did. Referee gave the penalty. Sterling took it, and that was one hell of a penalty. Put it right into the top corner, postage stamp level. It was a fantastic penalty by Sterling. I thought the one he took against Wolves a couple of weeks ago, like that one, it was composed, but it weren't great placement, was it? It was straight down the middle. If the keeper stays still, you look like a right muppet. But that penalty just then was amazing, right in the top corner. That made it 4-0 at half time, and you're thinking, Leicester don't stand a chance here. It's just going to be, limiting the damage that's done. But they pulled one back after about the 55th minute. James Maddison ran forward with the ball, managed to get a toe on it to Kelechi Iheanacho, and Iheanacho returned it to Maddison, and it was a nice finish into the near corner. And then a couple of minutes later, another counter-attack, again, Maddison to Iheanacho. This time Iheanacho played it through to Ademola Lookman. Lookman just produced a similar finish to Maddison, to be fair, and made it 4-2. At this point, you're thinking, okay, Man City might get a bit nervous here. Then about 10 minutes later, Leicester got a third, this time from a counter-attack that James Maddison managed to get a shot of. Ederson saved it, but it didn't look like he connected with his hand with the ball the way he wanted to. Like, it was still a good save, and he tipped it onto the crossbar, but it bounced off the crossbar and fell to Iheanacho, and he just put his foot through it and hoped for the best, and it managed to squirm through. And that made it 4-3. And now you're thinking, it's really game on here. And unfortunately for the average viewer, a person who, like a neutral viewer, who isn't supporting either team, Man City did get a fifth, which was a little bit disappointing. Aymeric Laporte managed to get his noggin on it from a corner. It was a good header. He managed to loop it into the top right corner. And then the sixth goal, Raheem Sterling's second from the game, another corner. I'm not so sure this goal should have stood. Ruben Diaz got his head on it from a corner, but he headed it. Well, I'm not even sure it was his head. It was like the side of his face, and it went down onto his arm. It looked like it was hard to tell whether it hit his sleeve or that part of his arm. It wasn't his forearm, but it was hard to tell whether it was actually his arm or his sleeve, which is, the rules. And it fell to Sterling, and Sterling put his foot through it, and again, it wasn't the hardest finish, and that made it 6-3, and yeah, that was it by that point. But you've got to give credit to Brendan Rodgers and Leicester for being 4-0 down and still having a proper good go, to be fair. If they hadn't have given those, or if Tielemans hadn't have given those two silly penalties away in the first half, then who knows? Leicester could have been in the lead, if anything. But yeah, but you also have to take away some credit from Leicester for how shocking the defending was in the first half. But City in the first half played some brilliant football. I don't think City did anything really that badly to concede the 3 goals in the second half. I thought it was more a case of Leicester just being very clinical from the few chances they got in the second half. I think they only really came close to scoring 3 times. Yeah, but it was a magnificent game to watch. There's been quite a lot of goals today so far. As I'm filming this, the Chelsea-Aston Villa game's just kicked off. And there's been 4 games so far, and I think there's been 22 goals, 9 in this one, 5 in West Ham Southampton, 5 in Norwich Arsenal, and also what was the other one? Oh yeah, Tottenham beat Crystal Palace 3-0. And I saw Wilfried Zaha's red card in that one, and it just sums him up as a player, to be honest. He's a very talented player, but he's never going to be like anything more than he is because of his, he has the self-control at times of like a toddler. You've been booked about 5 minutes ago. You're on a yellow card. Why on earth do you flick your arm back at Emerson Royal? Ridiculous from Zaha. But anyway, back to this game. I felt Leicester were always going to concede a few today because just looking at that back line, Mark Albrighton, Daniel Amate, Yannick Vestergaard and Luke Thomas. Vestergaard is a centre-back. Amate, I think when he first signed for Leicester, he was actually a central midfielder, but he spent most of his Leicester career just filling in at right-back or as makeshift centre-back. Mark Albrighton isn't a right back. We all know that. He was a left midfielder in the 4-4-2 that Claudio Ranieri won the league with Leicester, and he was even he was a winger at times for Aston Villa before that. So yeah, he's not a right back, and Luke Thomas is very young still and inexperienced. So that it's not a good defence for Leicester. They've got so many bad injuries at the moment. Soyuncu, who else have they got? Fofana had a really bad injury in pre-season, which has pretty much ruled him out for the season. Who else do they have? Oh yeah, Johnny Evans, of course. He's got an injury. I don't know what it is, but he's not playing, so he must have an injury. Yeah, so Leicester were always going to struggle, and when you give Man City in the first half, especially that much time on the ball in your half of the pitch, they're going to create something eventually, which they did, and yeah, so good win for City in the end, but it definitely has its downsides for them, conceding 3. But yeah, brilliant game to watch on Boxing Day. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.